Hello and welcome to Noninkables podcast number 2, season 2, episode 2. It's been a pretty busy week in terms of Lorcana. We had a team practice this week, and on Saturday we went to the Gold Star Pretty Good tournament. And other than that, just been practicing a lot on Lorcana. I think spiraling a lot less in terms of what deck I'm going to play. I've decided I'm going to play red-blue. A final answer, no more changes, since LCQ is literally, 4 days away? So starting with earlier this week, I was still kind of unsure about what I wanted to play. And I was playing a lot of, I think, still like testing different decks and stuff. And then Thursday, we had our team practice at our house with the whole team, and I played red-blue against Gary, and he played I think he played against me I played red-purple against Gary, and it was like a normal standard red-purple with like B preps and brawls, none of that crazy stuff I was doing before. No Jim Hawkins, like kind of back to the standard list. And I played against Gary, and I played against his red-purple aggro and lost horribly. I played against, I forgot what other decks he had. I think a green-purple and lost. I played against his red-blue, and I lost, and I was definitely spiraling then. And then we decided to play me and Gary on red-blue versus Tyler and Brian. I think Brian's green-steel. And it turns out that Tyler cannot play green steel at our house ever, because the last time he tried to play green steel was during Bucky, and he played the Bucky deck and never saw Bucky and Shift Diablo ever. We played like 7 or 8 games that time, and I beat him all those times. And then this time playing red-blue against them, I think they won 1 game out of 7 or 8 again. And every time it was like, oh, it'd be nice if I drew a brawl, and I would draw a brawl, and then I would play, and then they would have like a Diablo and an Ursula, and I'd be like, oh, it'd be nice if I had a second brawl, so then I would play Hiram, and then I would get a second brawl. And then I think one of the other times was like, I have no cards, they've discarded my whole hand. It'd be nice to get like a B prep, and then I get a B prep, and then be like, okay, next turn, it'd be nice to get like a Hiram or a Popsicle, and then I'd get a Hiram or a Popsicle. So it was like just crazy, insane draws, and I think every single time I had a 1-drop to play, plus ramp on 2, plus Hiram or Tall on 3. So I think just really good draws on my part with me and Gary's forces combined. So then this weekend I played red-blue at the Pretty Good Lorcana tournament up in Sacramento. So we didn't play in any like locals this week, just because we were going to go to Sacramento on Saturday. And it started at 9 a.m. It's pretty early. It's like an hour and a half drive. And so I took red-blue, Gary played red-blue, Tyler played red-blue, and Brian played green-steel. All of our decks are online at Inkdex, so they uploaded all the decks for the whole competition. There's like 100-something people. Let me see. There was a total, so if you go to Inkdex, you go to tournaments. One of the top ones, because it was the most recent right now, is Gold Star's Pretty Good Lorcana tournament, is 117 people. So a ton of people, a ton of decks, and they're all the decks are there. And you'll see us, we're under Noninkables by our name. So all of our red-blue decks were a little bit different. So I basically played Gary's deck, except that I took out a Scar, Vicious Cheater. He had 2. And I put in Sisu during Visitor, so the human Sisu. And then Tyler's had no Scars. He also ran 62 cards because he couldn't decide what to cut. And so, yeah, that was pretty fun. The tournament was super well run. They did have some hiccups with the stream, I think. They couldn't get it up until round 4. I think they were missing a cable or something. And then the quality I heard was not great. But other than that, like the actual in-person part was pretty fun. They did have vendors not selling like stuff. So not like local game store vendors, but like there was somebody selling like amigurumi. That was like a crocheted Baymax. There were people selling like Lorcana themed stuff. So like coasters and signs and dice holders and all that kind of stuff. And then each round you got there were 2 raffle tickets. Well, really 2 tickets. And then whoever won, it was best of 2. So whoever won, if you won a game, you got the raffle ticket. So if you won 2 games, you got 2 tickets. And then you take the tickets, you redeem them at like a spinny wheel thing. And then you could get a lot of things like candy, snacks, and then other stuff. So I'll show you first what we won. There was also like one that was like you pick. So it was like anything on the table. So we got a lore counter. So the Stitch one. We got some dice. We got this awesome 3D printed Lorcana sign. And they had them in multiple colors, but I felt like the blue was most Noninkables themed colors. So it's super light because it's 3D printed. I guess plastic is probably what it is. They had them in like all the different ink colors. And then I also got this very cute pot holder that has Stitch and then Enchanted on the bottom and then Lorcana on the other side. It is white though, so I'm kind of afraid to use it as an oven mitt because I'm afraid it's going to like get dirty and burned. Although the person there working was like, you could put tortillas in it. And I was like, that would be great. And I was like, Brian, I could put tortillas in it. And he was like, you don't even like tortillas. And I was like, okay, true fact. I don't like tortillas, but I could put like green onion pancakes in it, which are basically Chinese tortillas. So yeah, we got that. And then like got a bunch of candy that I'm still trying to eat through. And they also had like chips and pirate booty and all that other stuff. They also had water for free, like water bottles. Because I tried to one of the times go and be like, hey, how do I win the water? Can I buy the water? And they were like, no, you can just have it for free. And I was like, what? For free? So super points for that. That was awesome. And then it was 7 rounds total, best of 2. There was a break for lunch after round 3. We ended up getting food from the lumpia food truck that came. I think I got like garlic adobo rice and Brian got, I want to say, seasick fries. It's pretty good. Okay, 4 matches. Round 1, I played Handlin'. So they played Amber Steel. I believe it was Amber Steel's song. I had pretty good luck this tournament in that I won the dice roll every time. But I think best of 2 doesn't matter as much. I picked to go first every time. And I don't know if it would have been better if I picked to go second, but my record for the day was 0-1-6. So I lost 1 and I drew the rest. So almost technically undefeated. But the first one, I went first. I won. It was very close. He got to 19 lore. And then I played a Pirate's Life to bring him back down to 17. At this point, I was at 8 lore. And so because of the Pirate's Life, I went up to 10. He went down to 17. He got to 19. And then I kind of held him at 19. And then went to 11, 13, and then just to 20 after that. So super close game. And then the second game, I was on the draw. I only got to 3 lore. And what did I write down here? He played 2 whole new worlds and 3 Pete's. So I couldn't do anything. The second round, I played against Tim, who was on Amber Steel's, but with mines. First game, I went first because I won the die roll. He got to like 10 lore before I even started getting lore. And then kind of controlled the game, ended up winning. He got to 15 lore. Second game, I went second and lost horribly. He won and I only had 2 lore. I mean, granted, okay, so team practice, I did super well, right? But I only played the deck against Green Steel. And then on Friday, I was like, I don't want to ruin my winning streak. Let me just play 1 game on Lord Canito. I played a mirror, red-blue one. I was like, I'm done. Probably should have practiced the matchups more. Let's see, third round, I played Jan, who was playing red-purple. First game, I won pretty easily. They only got to 9 lore. Second game, it was super, super close. It was kind of like he got some lore, I got some lore kind of thing. And in the end, I think he had goat bounce. Fourth round, I matched up against Brian, which was kind of silly looking because we had identical mats because it was the team mat. And then we were wearing the team outfit. So we were just twins playing each other. First round, I went first. I got to 6 lore. He discarded my whole hand and won. Second game, I only got to 4 lore before he won. It was bad. I got destroyed. It was really funny, though, that we matched up together. And then It was really funny because people later, like our friends that we knew, were like, "Oh, I heard Brian said he played a Duraglass set last round." And I was like, "Yeah, that was me." Round 5, I played Queenie, who is Josie's sister, who I had played at Game Castle the weekend before. And she said she hadn't played really since set 4 and was kind of there just to, I'm not sure actually. It sounded like to test decks, but she was playing like hyper aggro, green purple hyper aggro, and I don't know if that's in the in the running for Josie to play, but maybe. And so first game I was on the play and won. I got 220. She was at 13. And then second game, I lost very badly. I got to 2 lore there, and she was at before she won. It was like turn 1, Curse Merfolk. Turn 2, Pinocchio, quest for 3. Turn 3, like Curse Merfolk, Diablo, something else. It was just all, I was like, everything quest for 2 or 3. This is insane. Yeah. And so lost there. Round 6, I played against Raul, who was playing red-blue. But his red-blue definitely had Develop Your Brain. I feel like it had something else that was kind of interesting. First game I was on the play and I won. It was very close though. It was like the turn before I won, we were both at 16. And the turn before that, we were both at 13. So it's very, very close. The second game was, oh no, the first game I lost on the play. I lied. First game was on the play and I lost. The second game I was on the draw and I won. I got to 19, and I think it was that he didn't see any draw. And then the 7th and last round, I played against somebody named James. Other name is Sage Mode, and he was on, I don't even know what this says. Let me look, actually. Since all of our decks are ink decks, it'll be pretty easy to find people. Show all. I can't believe they uploaded all of them. He was playing Emerald Sapphire, so Baja Blast, or I think sometimes people call it Seaweed, so green-blue. And it was like, first game I was on the draw, and I lost. I only got to 16 lore. Second game, I won pretty easily. I got to 20, and he didn't get any lore. And it was like very hard deck to play because on the one hand, you want to keep cards in your hand because he's playing green, so you can discard your hand, right? On the other hand, if you keep too many cards in your hand, then he plays a Clarabelle and he gets all the cards also. So it's kind of hard to balance what to do there. And then because he has blue, he can also ramp. So I think like the first game, I think I was at like 6 ink or something, or 7 ink, 6, 7, 8 ink. And then he had like, I want to say like 15 ink or something. Like he had like multiple, like basically on his mat, 3/4 of his mat was ink. And then like a little tiny bit at the very edge of his mat was where he was playing cards. It was insane. And then it was really funny because next to me was, I think it's Rebecca's son, I'm guessing, was there, and he was playing ramp, and his opponent was like, "Oh, you have so much ink." And I was like, dude, look at my opponent. He has way more ink. And like the fact that he had that much ink and I had ramped a little bit is just crazy. He's so much ink. And so, yeah. So obviously I did not place well. Let's see. I think in the end, Tyler was the only one who made it to top 8, which is where the cut was. Gary ended up being somewhere in the top 64. I could look up in Melee and give you an exact answer, but I don't remember. His record was 223. Brian was 114, and then I was 016 with my 1 loss to Brian. Tyler's record was going into top 8, I think was like 403 or something. I don't remember. But he made it to top 4, and I think he won his top 8, and he made a top 8 match. And then top 4, sorry, Tyler, if you don't want me to share this, but I feel like it's a good learning point for us all. But he got DQ'd. I think it's a good lesson. So he played red-blue, and he got like 2 warnings for not ink. So he played How Far I'll Go, and instead of keeping one in hand and inking one, he put one on the bottom of his deck. And I think by the time you're in like top 4, the judges watch, like just are sitting there. And so they catch little things like that. And it happened twice. And then there was another turn where he played a Hiram, but didn't have the ink to play the Hiram. And then because it was the third warning, he got like an immediate game loss. And he would have won because he had 17 lore, 2 tomatos in hand, and a dime. And his opponent was at like 6 lore. And his opponent even tried to concede, but it was like too late. And so technically by the rules, he lost, which is unfortunate, but it's a good reminder for us all, I think, to make sure that you practice in person, or at least if you're practicing online, if you don't have people to practice with in person, that you practice like saying the moves and don't let the automation kind of like take over. Don't rely on the automation. And so like one of the people I played Raul, when he played things, like he would play Grammaton, and he'd be like, okay, 1 in hand, 1 on the bottom of the deck. Like he would announce what he was doing. And I think that is probably very helpful to do just normally, to 1, remind you what you're doing, and also 2, to like force you to say it and then think about it so that you don't make dumb mistakes. Yeah. And I was like, it's so funny that like Tyler, because he also had the thing at Battle of the Bay where he thought Mr. Arrow had ward when it did it. It just had resist. And I'm like, wow, Tyler gets knocked out in like top cut because of silly mistakes, whereas the rest of us can't even make it to top cut just because we're not as good. Anyways, but good lesson to learn. And I want to share because I think it's important for us to learn from other people's mistakes and not be the ones that make those mistakes if we can avoid it. I feel like I need all the help that I can get. And so not making that mistake would be great. And so, yeah, remember to, and like if you're playing blue, it's very easy because you have Grammatala that looks at a card and 1 card goes in the bottom, right? And then you have How Far I'll Go, which you get 2 cards in your hand, but 1 goes into your inkwell. And then you have like Tipo, which lets you ramp, but you can't, that other ink goes in Exert. Whereas if you play Sail, you can still use the extra ink that you inked. Like Fishbone Quill, you can use that extra ink that you inked. Greystone Dragon, you can't use the extra ink that you inked. And so it's just, I think, good to practice saying it out loud so that you don't forget. And then you never know, like at a big competition when stakes are higher, like for LCQ or for championships and stuff, I think people are more stickler for rules. And so I think it's more likely for someone to call a judge on you for something like that versus like locals, at least around where we are, everyone's pretty chill. And so, yeah, for our tournament, I think the majority of the decks, there's a lot of red blue, which I didn't play any of it. And I would say like there was a lot of amber steel, both Minds versions and Song versions. And then like a smattering of green purple and some blurple and some purple steel, etc. But I think the major 3 decks were probably red blue, red purple, and amber steel. So not as much green purple. Maybe green purple was like up there with amber steel, around the same. But yeah, that was the tournament we went to. So in the top 8, let's see, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red blues in the top 8, a purple steel aggro, a amber steel Mufasa deck, and a red purple called aggro deck. Let's see why it's aggro. Oh, because it's not playing Be Prepared. It's just playing Brawls and Lady Tremaine and Medusa and no big Sisus. But it's playing like White Rose and it's got 12 1-drops. So yeah, I would say that's an more aggressive red purple. So yeah, that was our tournament. This past week I opened up like, I think 3 cases of Azurite. They've all been listed in the store. A lot of stuff has been bought. I did pull 2 enchanted. So one was this Tiana, and then one was a Captain Amelia. So now I have Captain Amelia both in English and in French. And then I still have all the first chapter boxes that I got that I haven't opened yet. I'm planning maybe doing it after LCQ just so I can have more time to practice. And then I will try to record that. I didn't record the Azurite because I was like, I feel like I should open these so that I can put them in the store so that people can get their cards for ahead of set championships. Especially because I think I listed like 8 genies or something like that, like a bunch of genies. And so I was like, I feel like people want these cards ASAP for set champs. And so, yeah. So this weekend we're going to LCQ. We're leaving Thursday. It will be the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then after that, it'll be set champs. Set champs will start I still need to check and see if all of our local stores have posted their set champs so far. I think we're just registered for Games of Berkeley. And then I think because there's so many stores and it seems like a lot of their dates are overlapping, we are actually going to probably compare which ones have better prize support and choose those to go to, because like last set we went to a set champs where like your participation prize was a deck box. And then there's other places where your participation is like pack per win, or you get a participation pack plus pack per win, or the Games of Berkeley, they are usually sponsored by Jesbian, who also did Battle of the Bay. And so she always is like, has the raffle tickets giving you like a thing to spin and you can get candy and all that stuff. And I feel like it just makes it nice. The score book that I use is actually one of hers. So this is like a little one. So it fits in your deck box, which is nice because like the Disney Lorcana ones are bigger and they don't. So I'm all for compact. And each page has room for 3 games. So I've been using that and I feel like I'm going to run out soon. So I would like to get another. I may just buy them from her. And so, yeah, the rest of this week is going to be hardcore grinding on Lord Canito. If only weren't so buggy, because I feel like I'm just constantly trying to refresh so that it updates. And especially, I think at nighttime, like probably around like once people get off work and stuff, it just, I think probably like starting 5 p.m. Pacific time is like when the people in California are off work, plus there's already people on the East Coast playing. I feel like that is the time when it gets super buggy. I did one time, so after we went to Gold Star, I think I probably had caffeine way too late, so I didn't sleep very well. I like fell asleep for like an hour and then woke up at like 1 a.m. So then I was playing Lord Canito at like 2 a.m. and it worked perfectly at 2 a.m. It was great. So it's definitely like, I think, a traffic issue. When there's a bunch of people playing, it just doesn't work as well. So if you want a bug-free Lord Canito experience, just play at weird hours in the day or night. So I think this week will just be, the remainder of the week will be grinding. I'm probably going to end up playing Tyler's List because he won. Or not, he didn't win the whole thing. He might have if he didn't get DQ'd. But he's the winner of our team, so I will go with his deck. I do need to learn, I think, some of the lines into, I'm most scared about like aggro and basically any deck that's a little bit aggressive. I'm a little terrified of because I'm not quite sure how to hold them at a lower while I kind of get control of the board. So I need to work on that. My plan is to, one, look back at, so I'd bought the Sisu on Ice guide from Sailor from last set. So I'm going to review that because although some of the cards are different, I think a lot of the general concepts are still there. So I'm going to review that to figure out how to fight against aggro and things. And then also look for streams of the specific matchup that I'm looking for. And that will be my prep for LCQ. Our team still is 3 of us have tickets. So me, Brian, and Tyler. And unfortunately, Gary still does not have a ticket. So if you were going to go to LCQ but aren't going to go anymore and have an extra ticket, please send me a message. You can send it to me here. You can send it to me on Instagram. You can send it to me on Twitter. I probably won't notice, but Brian, I think, will notice because he has notifications set up for that. And let me know because I know Gary wants a ticket. Yeah. And then good luck to everybody going to LCQ. Good luck to everybody who is already qualified for the North American Championship. I hope you all play to the best of your ability, except for the opponents that are playing against me and my friends. I hope you guys have brain farts and we win. And as always, and also remember, don't make dumb mistakes. Take your time, etc. As always, keep shuffling and hopefully you don't end up with a whole handful of non-inkables like me. Also, if you see hi, say hi. I probably will have stickers and trades. And also, if you see me in the parks because I have lost, also say hi. Okay, all right, that's it for me. Bye.